Okay, it's going. All right, hi guys. So I know I look like a mess right now. It's my day off for in like many days. So I thought I would do a video. Those of you who don't recognize me, I used to make videos on my underbite. I no longer have it anymore, which is good. I had the surgery about 3 years ago. It'll be 3 years this month. So I'm going to be talking a lot about that. A lot of you are going to be like, wow, you look so different. Like, what happened? You look like you put on some weight. I'm going to be talking a lot about that. So, first thing I want to show you is my teeth. They look pretty good. I got my braces off like about last year. So, yeah, I've had them off for a while now, which is good. I'm really happy with the results. I'm very happy with the results actually. So yeah. So I'm gonna get into like a lot. This is gonna be a very long video because I want to get into like what's going on with me. What happened, like why I stopped filming. Well, to be honest, I did start filming again, but my iPad didn't let me upload videos. So I have footage on my whatchamacallit, on my iPad, but yeah, I just didn't do it. And plus, he couldn't really understand me. It was like right after the surgery, so yeah, you couldn't barely understand me. So yeah. um, for those of you who don't already know, the reason I stopped filming is because I kind of got sick of YouTube. Um, I felt like, I'm not making, like how these other girls are making money off of this. I'm not doing that, so what's the point of it? But then I realized, why did I stop? There was no reason for me to stop. Just because I don't not making money off of it doesn't mean, it wasn't something good, coming out for like other people who have an underbite or have to have reconstructive surgery or anything, so yeah, my nose looks really crooked right here. It's weird. Or maybe it's just the lighting, I don't know. But now I can see why my orthodontist wanted me to do something, so let's see. Anyway, so I got the surgery done in, I think it was December 19th, December 20th. I don't remember the exact date. And it went really good. It was like an 8.5 hour surgery, so I was in there for like a long time. And my parents were like so worried. My boyfriend was worried. Everybody was worried about me. They kept calling my mom, saying like, "What's happening? Is she out of surgery yet?" And she's like, "No, not yet." But we have a nurse coming in saying, "Oh, she's doing fine," so which is good. Which is good. There's nothing wrong with that. Um, I'm really glad that they did that because my mom said that she was crying, and she couldn't eat anything because she was so nervous. So yeah. Um, so the surgery, oh gosh, so it was such a long, not a long process, but my original surgeon that was supposed to do it did not accept my insurance. So I was super fucked. I just was like, what do you mean you're not going to accept my insurance? I have to have this done, I can't, keep living like this. So they just said, "Oh, if you want to pay out of pocket, that's fine." And I was like, "What?" I'm like, "My parents can't afford that." It was going to be like $10,000. So I was like, "Shit, we don't have 10 grand, I don't know." Anyway, so right after that, I remember I called my orthodontist because I got a new orthodontist, which I don't like anymore. I don't even want to see her anymore. Because I got my braces off. What's the point? What do I need to see her for? So anyway, so so what happened? So I called her and I said, "Do you know of any surgeons that can do this? Because my the doctor that I was supposed to go to doesn't accept my insurance." And she's like, "I have one in mind. He's a plastic surgeon, but he does do reconstructive surgery." So I was like, okay, give me his number. So I called the doctor's office and I said his name wrong because I can't understand my orthodontist. She has a very thick accent and, I couldn't understand her. So I went to Dr. Martin Stepanian in Glendale. Those of you who want to know, look him up. He has awesome, there's pictures of me on there, so, you can see them. So I called him and he was out of town. So I was like, shit, what am I gonna do? So, I gotta have this surgery done in December because, I have to go back to school because I had just started going to Dominguez Hills and, I had about, what was it, like 5 weeks off. So I was like, that's perfect, I'll be fine, I'll go back to school then. So I was pretty like shitting bricks because, I was like, fuck, what am I gonna do? I can't put this off anymore, so anyway, so I called them and they said they'll get back to you, we'll get back to you, because he's out of town right now, but he will be back next week. So I was like, okay. They called me the next week. So I was happy. So anyway, let me get my phone. All right, it's just my mom. Sorry about that. So anyway, so they called me back and they said, oh, so you want to have your underbite fixed? I said, yeah. I'm like, that's what I, want to know. And like, but first, do you accept my insurance? And they're like, right now, we don't know. We have to run it by them to see, like, if we do accept it. He said, but most likely, you'll just pay out of pocket. And then after the surgery, you'll get money back. So I was like, okay. I'm like, but it's still $10,000, like, how am I supposed to come up with that, So my mom said, let's just put it on a credit card. I'm like, are you crazy? That's crazy. My mom said, that's all we can do. So we did that. And yeah, but meeting him, I should talk about meeting him instead of the money part. Meeting him, he was so nice. He was really super nice. He was showing me before and after pictures of, women and men who had the same problem I did. And I was just like, wow, you fixed their face. You didn't just fix their mouth, you fixed their face. Sorry, my nose is running. So, he was like, yeah, I do more plastic surgery than anything, because I want your face to go with, with what I did in the surgery. So I was like, okay, that's fine. That's totally fine. And I said, do I have to be wired shut? I'm like, because this is what the other surgeon was going to do to me. He's like, no, that's totally old school. I don't do that. He said, I'm just going to put rubber bands. I'm like, oh, okay, so I get to move my mouth a little bit. He's like, yeah, but it's going to really hurt. I'm like, okay, okay. So I was super excited, I was like, damn, I'm gonna get it done, it worked out, so I was pretty happy. I was just like, it's coming up so soon. Um, I remember I got sick like a month before the surgery, and I was like, shit, what am I gonna do? I'm like, I can't go in like this, I had the flu, so, and it was pretty bad, so, yeah, so I just went through it, and I was fine, which is good. I'm so glad it didn't happen, like right before the surgery because I know he wouldn't have done it. So, yeah. So, anyway, I remember going in that day. It was like early morning. Um, I forget what the hospital was called because I don't remember. It was far. It was pretty far. So, yeah, like I just don't remember it. But it was a nice hospital, really roomy. I remember he came in and he smelled so good. I don't know what he wears. To this day, I don't know what he wears. I want to know what he wears, because he smelled so good. Anyway, so I remember him just saying, "You're gonna be all right. You're gonna be doing." What helped me a lot was that my anesthesiologist came in and she said, "I'm gonna be there with you through the whole thing. I'm gonna be watching you. You're gonna be fine." I'm like, "Okay, that sounds good." I'll be good. So they gave me, I remember when they put the IV in, it was such a huge needle. I'm so glad that they numbed me. I remember it was like right here where they put the needle in, and it was like so big. She's like, no, I'm gonna numb you first. I'm like, oh, thank God, because for some reason I can't do needles. I think IVs are like so scary for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, I have piercings, and you'd think I would be used to needles, but no, I'm not. um, so anyway, what else happened? Yeah, so they put the IV in. They gave me what's called a cocktail, like to relax me, and I was like, okay, I feel pretty good, I remember they were like, okay, it's time, we gotta wheel you in. I'm like, okay, so bye guys, you know. um, yeah, so I was wheeled in. I remember the surgery room was so cold, and the last thing I remember was seeing one of my surgeon, his nurses, and I remember she just smiled at me, and I smiled back, and then I was out. I don't even remember anything else. Yeah. Yeah, so then I remember waking up and I couldn't see anything because I know they gave me so much anesthesia because it was an 8.5 hour surgery, so I needed a lot of anesthesia, obviously. So I remember I couldn't see anything. My mouth was like felt so weird. It was so tight and painful. And I remember hearing the surgeon's voice. He's like, "Are you all right?" I'm like, "Yeah." I remember trying to like think, getting my motor skills back. Shaking my head, like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And then I remember saying, "Give her some more, some more pain meds." So yeah. And I don't remember how long I was in the recovery room for. I don't remember at all. Um, it felt like a long time, but I'm pretty sure it was like an hour or so. And then I remember getting wheeled into my room and just waiting there, and my parents came and they're like, "Oh my God, you look so different. Look at your face." Because he did not only fix my mouth, he fixed my nose. He said, "I want to make it a little smaller, so that way it looks like it goes with your face." And plus I had a deviated septum, so he fixed that too. But it's weird, like when I put my fingers like in my nose or something, it's like all not, it doesn't feel straight or anything. It feels like it's all jacked up. But I'm pretty sure that, you know, that happens, but it's okay. Anyway, so I remember that, and I remember they changed me really quick. So one of the nurses changed me. So, well, two of the nurses changed me. And I didn't really like my first nurse. She was kind of mean. Um, and then I remember seeing my boyfriend. I was like, "Hi, baby." We have like this little handshakes that we did, and I was like, "Okay, let's do it." you know, um, my mom actually stayed with me that night because, I needed someone to stay with me because I couldn't talk at all. I would just like moan, and I would be like, "Oh, fuck," because I was in so much pain. Um, yeah, so I was like in a lot of pain. I couldn't sleep that night at all. It makes sense. You were asleep for like 8.5 hours. Of course, you're not going to sleep, for another few more hours. So I didn't sleep at all that night. It was pretty bad, because I would try to go to sleep and I just couldn't go to sleep because of the pain and the tightness and everything. And sometimes the nurses would be like, "We can't give you anything right now. It's not time. We can only give you." I was on morphine. I remember that, and it didn't do shit. It did not do shit. So I was like, this isn't working. You got to give me something else. But they didn't. So I was like, shit. Anyway, and I would have to go. My mouth was like, rubber band shut. So I would just be like, my face hurts. I would just be like that. And my mom would be like, "What?" And she's like, "Okay, I'll get the nurse." And for some reason, my IV, it kept getting bubbles, so this loud sound would go off. It would be like beep 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 beep. I'm like, "Oh my God, what is this? Why does this keep happening?" and so the nurse would have to come in and fix it really quick and then make sure that my IV was working and everything. So, yeah. But like I said, the morphine didn't do anything. It did not help at all. It was just like, oh God, what am I doing? Like, why did I have this done? So yeah, I'm trying to think of what else. So the next day, I remember I got a really cool nurse. She was really cool. Um, she was young, very young actually, and she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be your nurse for today. How are you feeling?" She's like, we gotta get some food in you." I'm like, "Okay," I'm like, "How?" So they gave me like this syringe thing that I could use, and it had like a long tube on it where I could just like stick on the corners of my mouth, and then the food would just like go in, and I was drinking like chicken broth, apple juice, and that was it. I tried yogurt, but I couldn't even get it in my mouth at all. It was just like I had no feeling in my mouth at all. So I was just like, shit, I didn't know it was gonna be like this. I don't think I went in really prepared, knowing. I mean, the doctor did. I mean, my surgeon did tell me like, what it's gonna be like, but I don't think I was prepared for it at all. But yeah. So yeah, so we got some food in me, and I would just lay around all day. I remember we watched Animal House. Animal House was on, so I was like, let's put it on, let's watch it. So yeah, so yeah, this is a very long video, but it's okay, whatever. Um, yeah, so we were watching that, and my dad actually brought like pen and paper for me like to write on because he couldn't understand me. So I would just be like writing stuff, saying like, oh, I'm in pain, I need something. So they just said, okay, we're gonna take the IV out now. And I had a catheter in me. I was like, why do I have this in me? And I'm like, thank God they took it out like in the morning because I was so uncomfortable with it. Like I didn't like it at all. It was like ridiculous. And it didn't even feel like I was peeing or anything. It's just so weird. Like I was like, take this out. I want it out. So when they took it out, I was so happy. I was like, oh, thank God, now I can go to the bathroom. But it was weird. I couldn't pee really well at first. It was really weird. I guess because of the catheter or something. But it felt like I had to, so it was weird. So yeah, so then I got to go home the next day. So I spent one night in the hospital, and then that day I got to go home. So he said, if you want to stay another day, we can. I'm like, no, I want to go home. I'm like, I want to go home and sleep. And he was like, okay. He said, I'm going to check you out. He said, you look really good. I was not that swollen. I think I was more swollen with my, when I got my wisdom teeth taken out, which was like nothing compared to the surgery that I went through. And so yeah, but I was pretty swollen. I can try and insert some pictures, but I gotta look for them. Anyway, yeah, so yeah. So that's pretty much it. If you guys want to know more about the surgery, let me know in the comments and I will make another video. But like I said, I'm back. So now I'm gonna get into like why I've gained like weight, like why I look a little fatter now. Before the surgery in like May 2013, for some reason I was getting really bad anxiety and depression. Um, I think I've always suffered from depression, but it never really like surfaced really bad until like, May 2013, which was not a good year. I mean, it kind of was because I got my surgery done, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it was just a very odd year, and I was really like anxious all the time and so depressed. I had like no desire to do anything. I just wanted to stay home and lay down all day, and that's how bad it was. but I would still like go out. I would have to force myself to go out and stuff, because I needed to. You can't be in the house all day. So yeah, so I started seeing a therapist when I started Dominguez because it was free. Um, when I went to Dominguez, they had like a psychological services, so I got to see somebody, and she was really cool. I liked her a lot. So I got to see her, and yeah, so it went really good. I learned a lot. And she was like, what are you experiencing exactly?" She said, "You can't just be depression because you seem okay. You don't want to like." You're not like a little slug or anything. You're not like, you seem a little more upbeat. I'm like, well, I kind of hear things, like something like tells me to do something, and she's like, do you think you hear voices? I was like, yeah, I think so. So, that's what was happening. I was hearing things. And I was put on, by my primary doctor, I was put on Zoloft and Xanax. They were very low doses at first. Now I went like all the way to 100 at one time, and then I went down to 50, which is better. It's still a low dose, but still, it was from being from 100 to 50. That was like such a big drastic change. Now, those of you who don't know, the medications that you take, like Zoloft, Xanax, I'm also on another medication for the voices because what I was diagnosed with was major depression with psychotic features, meaning I hear voices that tell me to do stuff. And yeah, so I'm put on another medication that's called Geodone. Now, I'm not going to get into too much of it, but it was like trial and error for so long. I was put on Abilify that was the first drug I was put on for the voices, and I gained like 10 pounds in a month. That's how bad it was. I was just eating like constantly all the time, and, it was, it was like so bad, but after the surgery, I had lost so much weight, so I was like, oh, I can gain a few pounds here and there. So by the summer of 2014, I think I was like 115, I think, which was a good weight. I wasn't fat or anything, I felt good, but I just kept progressively gaining weight, and I went all the way up to 160. By last year, I was 160. So, but I've lost some weight. I was put on another medication for that diabetics take, because my hemoglobin A1C was elevated. So they put me on this other medication called metformin, which helps you lose weight. So I've lost like about 11 pounds already. So I'm pretty happy about that because my face, you could just see it in my face. I was like so round, and my stomach was just out. My legs were huge. Well, they still are huge, but they're not that bad. Not like they were. Like I go to the gym now, I work out. I eat a lot better now. So like I only eat 3 meals a day now. That's it. I've already eaten lunch, so I'll probably just eat dinner, and that's it. That's it. And it's really hard to lose weight, because those of you who do take these medications, you probably know that of course the side effect is weight gain. You're gonna gain weight. I'm not the only one who suffers from this, so I know somebody else who suffers from it really bad too, and yeah, she goes up and down in weight like all the time. So yeah, you know, um, yeah, so yeah, all you can really do is just watch your calories. Make sure you're not going crazy with food. Like right now, what I'm doing is portion size. I'll only eat like part of my food and then take the rest home and then eat it the next day. So that way it's not, I'm not eating it all in one sitting. And I get pretty full fast because of the metformin, so which is good. I was also taking the Garcinia Cambogia, but I forget to take it all the time, so I haven't been taking that. I should probably start taking it because I did pay for it, you know, because I mean it was only $10, but still. While we're already at 25 minutes. Yeah, so those of you who want to know more in depth about like my story and stuff, you know, let me know and I will make a video about that. Yeah, I will make a video about that. Just let me know. So yeah, because I'll do it. Um, yeah, so I probably look a lot different now. I have more piercings. Um, yeah, I have more piercings. My hair, no, I think my hair was blonde, but I dyed it red and then I went to this color. So yeah. So I think that's really it, guys. Let me know again if you want me to make more videos, cause I will. I'll do it. If you want me to do like a tattoo tag and piercings tag, I will do that too. I'll probably combine the two. Um, yeah, that's really it. My boyfriend and I are still together. It's been 6 years, so I'm like, wow, it's already been 6 years. Shit, it's been so long. So, let me know and I will make more videos because I think I should start doing it again. You know, there's nothing wrong with making videos. So, yeah. So, I will see you guys later. Um, yeah, I'll be back with more videos. Yeah, I'm gonna try and do a video like once a week, you know, just so that way, you know, I'm not like so absent from YouTube anymore. So, yeah. All right, guys. Bye.